The KWTX-FM sticker.
Into the search for a 21-year-old UT co-ed. The body of Lauren McCarty was discovered this morning in South Austin.
Governor White is showing his opposition to a nuclear waste dump in the Panhandle. He traveled to Smith County today to attend a rally against the site.
It was a big day in sports. The college bowl season is underway.
We'll have details on those stories and much more next on Channel 7 News. Stay with
I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. That's the song I like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to buy the world a coat.
Introducing the first affordable 4x4 built tough enough to be major motion. The 1985 Nissan Standard. Nissan's lowest sticker-priced 4x4. No other leading standard compact 4x4 pulls with more horsepower. Nissan 85, the new standard of 4x4s. Only the price isn't tough. Right now, special incentives from Nissan can help you save big money at your Datsun dealer, but hurry, offer limited.
Do your chicken nuggets seem to run out of flavor when you run out of sauce? Then maybe you should know your nuggets. New Kentucky Nuggets from Kentucky Fried Chicken. The only chicken nuggets with the Colonel's secret blend of 11 herbs and spices. For a taste so good, you're gonna love them. With sauce.
Or even without.
New Kentucky Nuggets. Flavor that never runs out.
Know your nuggets. We do chicken right.
This is KTBC-TV, Channel 7, Austin. From Austin's News Channel, this is the Channel 7 News Weekend Reports with Bettie Cross and Carlos Ramirez, Neal Barton with weather, and Greg Kerr on sports.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Carlos Ramirez.
And I'm Bettie Cross. The 4-day search for a missing UT co-ed has ended. The body of 21-year-old Lauren McCarty was discovered this morning in a car parked at a South Austin mall. Right now, police can only speculate on the events that led to her murder.
She was abducted, taken to the end of Westgate, where she was sexually abused and murdered, placed in the car, and then taken to the spot where the car was dropped off.
Police say they have no suspects in the case.
The Christmas holiday unfortunately brings with it a rise in traffic accidents, and with the Christmas weekend only a day old, 2 Central Texans already have lost their lives. In Bastrop County, 64-year-old John Willard was killed when his car hit a stop sign. The second accident happened in Travis County just before midnight last night. 34-year-old Fred Lambert of Austin died after losing control of his motorcycle on FM 620. The weekend death count stands at 11 fatalities. The Department of Public Safety estimates 53 people will die on Texas roads before midnight Tuesday. State officials say they'll go head-to-head with the federal government over locating a nuclear waste dump in the Texas Panhandle. And today they took that message directly to the people. Galen Savanas has more.
It was the type of political delegation you would expect to find at a state dinner. The governor, the attorney general, a member of the State Water Commission, even a U.S. senator and representative. But they weren't in Austin. They were in the Hereford High School auditorium. Hereford is located in Smith County, one of 3 areas where the U.S. Department of Energy says it may build the country's first nuclear waste dump. But state officials say they'll do everything they can to keep that from happening.
We're going to be here with you no matter when it happens. We're going to be fighting this battle no matter where it takes place, and in the end, we'll win the war. You just let the sparks fly. That's what we've got to do.
Last year, Smith County ranked 2nd in the state in revenue production from farming and agriculture. The state wants to protect that revenue and has already begun efforts to keep the dump away. On Wednesday, State Attorney General Jim Maddox filed suit in the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals, charging the DOE violated provisions of the 1983 Nuclear Power Policy Act, which deal with the site selection process. Since the dump may interfere with the Ogallala Aquifer, the federal government must secure a permit to dig from the Texas Water Commission. Commission member Ralph Roaming told me today the commission has no intention of issuing such a permit. And finally, the governor says he won't hesitate to exercise the state's veto power, confident that the state's congressional delegation will support it if necessary. In his address today, White recognized Deaf Smith residents as farmers and ranchers first.
You, the people of the Panhandle, should be the stewards of your own soil, not the watchdogs of someone else's waste.
State officials are confident that in the long run, they'll be able to keep nuclear dumps out of
balance between military and political leaders in the Soviet hierarchy. One Western diplomat called the appointment a conservative, predictable choice. Betty?
Rescue workers have almost reached a chamber where 14 miners might be trapped. They only have 250 feet to go, and officials think they'll reach the chamber sometime tonight. If they do, that will allow fresh air into the room and open up communications with any survivors. Meanwhile, one miner who narrowly escaped being trapped today recounted the ordeal he went through. Here's his story.
After I lost everybody, I didn't know where they were. I got separated from everyone else. I just was determined I wasn't going to just sit there. I had to keep moving.
Kenneth Blake says he really doesn't know how he got out of the mine alive. He was trying to lead the other miners along the belt line and past the fire to safety when he got lost.
I kept staggering and bumping into timbers and stuff because I couldn't see anything. And I had to stop and rest a few times because I couldn't get enough oxygen to keep going. I was breathing hard.
Blake stumbled accidentally into a small tunnel that led him past the fire to freedom. How do you feel today?
A lot better. Still nervous, scared.
Even with what happened, Blake doesn't blame Emery Mining.
As far as working towards a world record, I mean, we were doing it very safely, and we were doing everything right.
Blake was home with his family when he heard 9 miners had been found dead.
I feel terrible. I feel, I don't know what else to say.
Ken Blake suffered a coal miner's worst nightmare, yet he survived. But that survival is almost too much for him. Here at home with his family, he says he can think of nothing else but his friends still trapped below the ground. In Price, Linda Beth Yoon, KUTV News.
And we have just found out from the Associated Press that 7 of those 14 miners have died. Whether, Carlos, they have actually broken through to the chamber and gotten air to the other possible survivors, we don't know. Details are very sketchy, but if anything does happen, we will bring you word.
Okay, and we'll be right back with the weather forecast.
Some powerful magic.
And still tomorrow night, about a 30%, a low of 45 degrees, and east winds at 5 to 10. And the outlook now for Christmas Day looks like more clouds and highs around 68 to 70 degrees for Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, more the same. Just a lot of clouds in the forecast. That's the way it looks for the next couple of days. So
okay.
No rest from that.
All right. Thank you, Neal. Betty?
Well, Carlos, I just went down and checked the Associated Press wire, and we have found out that right now they're saying they believe there will be no survivors in the Utah mine. As we just told you, they had just found 7 bodies when they broke through to the chamber. Well, now they say they have not found the 7 other bodies that are missing, but they say there is virtually no hope. And that brings the total death count from that tragedy to 20. And as we all know, that happened Wednesday night when a fire broke out in that mine.